Welcome to Lesson 3. The central truth for this week is Jesus is God's gift of love. The scripture to study is Luke 1, 26 through 28, as well as Luke 2, 1 through 20. The memory verse for the week is a portion of John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son. The teaching tip for the week is to be prepared with your stories. Stories can be one of the greatest tools you have for presenting the gospel to the children. But know your story well. You don't have to memorize it, but be familiar enough with it that you can tell the story from your own words. When it's real to you, it will be real to the children.
For this week's lesson, the Bible story is the baby that was made of love, focused on the scripture John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. In this story, an angel shows up to Mary and tells her that she will bear a child who is Jesus. And this is God's special gift to humanity, baby Jesus.
For this lesson, God's animal is the mouse. And there is the story about the mouse and how he's very small, and even though he's very small, he's very important. And in this story, it also shows how God gives gifts to his children. It goes back to our central truth that Jesus is God's gift of love.
The puppet skit for this week is What Does Redeem Mean? In this skit, Darlin Duck wants to know what the word redeem means. You will have the opportunity to use this skit to teach the children that they are so precious to Jesus that he bought them with his very own blood. And as usual, all you will need for this skit is one duck puppet and one helper.
This week's story is entitled Brindle's Gift, and it's about Brindle and Skippy, who are best friends. Brindle finds a necklace and gives it to Skippy. And the correlation we want to pull out of this story is the gift that God gave to people. Jesus is so special that he would not want to take that gift back.
For this lesson, for the craft for this lesson, we're going to be putting gifts together. For the 2s and 3s, you want to get your materials ready before the class begins. And we have a small gift here. You can have bows, small boxes. You have Jesus on the box. You'll want to bring a tag that the children can write to the child from God, and this represents that Jesus is God's gift to us. And then also for the 3s and 4s, same thing. We'll have material. You can read your instructions on the materials you need to bring, and you'll be building a gift for. You'll be putting together a gift for the children, and on the tag to the children from God. The Ready, Set, Go portion of this lesson will be using the heart bucket and a bottle of water, and the title of it is going to be Ready for the Rain, and we're just basically going to use these props to show how Jesus pours his presence, his spirits, his gifts of love, peace, and joy on us.
For this week's Ready, Set, Go with others, we want to encourage the children to think of somebody that they can give a gift to. It can be a picture they color, a hug, a cookie, anything simple, but encourage them to think of how God gave them the gift of Jesus, so they can think of someone that they can give a gift to.
For Lesson 3's activities, there are 3 separate activities if you have time. The first fun time activity would be to take a sheet of paper and paste it up on a wall in a place where you can keep it, so on a monthly basis you can measure all the children's height. And this is to let them see and realize that Jesus came to the world as a baby and grew in stature just as they grow. Another activity would be review questions that are based on the lesson. There's 7 or 8 questions you can ask, and to reinforce the central truth, which is Jesus is God's gift of love.
Okay, when you're ready.
Action! I keep looking at you. It's so weird.
Sorry.
You need to have like a little plate that sticks out so I can just see the lens. Okay, this is for real. This time I'm gonna nail it. Okay. I keep looking at you. That's why you're too close to the camera. Would be to take a sheet of paper. For lesson 3's review, if you have this week's lesson, okay, start over.
Okay.
For lesson 3's okay, I don't know. Cut. Can you probably paste that? Was that part okay?
Yeah.
Okay.